Reasons why a guy would stare at you from afar. 1. He finds you attractive. Often the first question that would come to your mind is that why doesn't he have the guts to approach you directly? Well, maybe he is just checking you out. He finds you cute and attractive and wants to notice all of you before making up his mind. 2. The guy cannot muster up the courage to approach you. Often some guys are shy and cannot make the first move. Staring at you constantly from afar, they just try to send you signals of being interested in you. Perhaps, they want you to approach them first. 3. The guy is in awe of you and finds you unapproachable. A guy who stares at you from afar often clearly likes you. He likes the way you laugh, you talk, you dress, and you look. But, he finds himself no match to you. So, he satisfies his love pangs by staring at you all the time. Doing so, he might often be dreaming about how it would be if you two could meet up. 4. He loves you. Love knows no rules and no boundaries. If a guy is in love with you, you might find him staring at you intensely from afar. He wants to take in all of you by staring at you all the time. He is in love with your smile, the tilt of your head, your hairstyle and the way you dress. Staring from afar, he admires you but cannot muster up any courage to compliment you directly. Lovers stare at each other all the time. Staring in love is beautiful. If the guy stares at his lady love, he thinks about how pretty she is or how happy he is to have her in his life. 5. Perhaps he is trying to analyze what makes you so popular amongst other guys. Sometimes, a guy may not notice you but is compelled to look at you owing to your popularity amongst other guys. Staring at you from a distance, he is only trying to figure out what makes you so popular. 6. If a guy stares at you intensely, it could mean that he is interested in you. Some men are really smart and wait for a positive signal from the girl's side before advancing towards her. They either fear rejection or do not want to make a fool of themselves. While staring at you from a distance, they wait for you to stare back, smile or show similar interest. 7. Perhaps, he just wants to make you feel uncomfortable. Have you ever had a showdown with this guy? Perhaps he just wants to even out things by making you uncomfortable in return. Just ignore him. Sometimes, guys gang up and challenge their peers to stare at a woman and make her stare back. Maybe the guy is staring only to win his challenge and has no other motives. Just ignore. 8. Maybe, the guy who stares at you from a distance is not aware of the discomfort that he is causing. It is also obvious that the guy cannot but help himself staring at you all the time. He is completely awestruck by your looks and wants to soak up every bit of you. In the process, he is completely unaware of the effect it has on you. Perhaps, you could approach him first and gently joke about his staring. That should get him straight or start a great relationship with him altogether. 9. The guy who stares at you intensely from a distance perhaps is up to something else. Perhaps, it's nothing personal and the guy who stares at you might just be reading your shirt or admiring your new haircut. He may also have something else running in his mind like picturing you in his upcoming theater play, or he may be an artist and wants to paint your face. Approach him and gently joke about his staring. That should stop the staring and get you an answer as well as an apology. 10. If he stares at your body more than your face, then he is a creep. Guys who have all the wrong intentions, often boldly stare at a woman's body checking her out. This is not only rude, but it makes the girl very uncomfortable. The guy is a jerk, and you have got to stay away from him. If the staring gets unbearable, then perhaps you could approach him directly and give him a piece of your mind. 11. The guy stares at you from a distance but instantly looks away the moment you catch him staring. Now, this is a nice gesture. There is no harm at staring at a woman, and guys do that all the time provided the woman doesn't come to know. A guy who continues to stare even after you find him ogling at you is a pervert, and you need to stay away from such beings. 12. Some guys stare waiting for you to look at their direction. Some men wait for you to look at them so that you both can exchange a smile. This could initiate a great relationship if you like him too. If you don't, then don't look his way. He will eventually get the message. 13. Eyes speak volumes. Some men convey their feelings of love or lust towards you by the way they stare at you. You too can stare back in your guy's eyes and read his love messages or completely avoid his gaze if you are not interested in him. 14 Some guys stare because they don't know how to start a conversation with you. A guy who is staring at you often clearly likes you. He can think of no good reason to talk to you and also does not want to lose the opportunity to get close to you. So, instead, he stares at you waiting for you to stare back, exchange a smile or start a conversation. Perhaps, you could ease out his turmoil and approach him yourself. 15 Some creepy guys stare at women because they have never seen anyone like her before. Some men who are unaware of the modern ways or are uneducated do not have the proper manners and sense to behave like a gentleman. They stare at a woman boldly if they find her too modern or too different from their clan.